88.1 XFM, Tauranga Hit Music Station. Also, another episode of Mike Time with Marty. I've got a street performer who was also on America's Got Talent to say hello to Danny Wolverton.
Hi, or people know me as Speacial Head.
Here we go, Speacial Head. So, how'd you come up with the name Speacial Head?
We came up with a joke band that we sounded really bad, and it sounded like we were in special ed. So we called it Speacial Head.
Huh.
And then I was trying to come up with names for my band, and we just made a MySpace page. We never did much with that band. I just thought it was a good name, right? My second band, I was originally like a live looping beatboxer, like hip hop artist, before I started doing the levitation. And the character that I would always play on stage was like this dirty, raunchy, like pimp guy, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, Speacial Head, it just has like a nice, memorable ring to it. Like that would also be a good name for this band, Speacial Head, right? Because like the guy gets special head after his show, And then when I started doing the levitation in the street, I don't know, I just had the website. I just had that as my social media and stuff. And when I was like being the guru monk guy on TV, as the levitating guru, I was like, you know what? Speacial Head also fits for this, because I could say this whole metaphorical speech about how, because we are human, we all have special heads. Like, head is about being an intelligent human and having the ability to have abstract thought and see something greater and bigger than what's presented to us simply in our environment. We're able to conceptualize some kind of higher power and afterlife and greater purpose other than just sleeping, eating, reproducing. So I was like, I can like transition this name to be like a mystical, magical name.
Okay, so what was your reaction when you got into the quarterfinals of America's Got Talent?
Well, they were trying to use leverage to get me to do what they wanted me to do in that round, in the third round, in the quarterfinals, whatever. And so they were like, they made on the Las Vegas round, in the second round, they pretended like I failed, and they ran me through a gauntlet of people asking me, like, aren't you sad, Speacial Head? You just lost, right? And they then at the end of this gauntlet of people asking me questions, I get to their lawyer, and the lawyer's like, actually, you are still on the show. We just filmed all that bunch of BS. She didn't say it like that, but we just filmed all that to like get the reactions. You're on this list, this standby list of like people that we want to have on the show, but we're still trying to work your acts out and make sure it's going to be amazing, right? They used this uncertainty of whether or not I was going to go on to the live shows, certainty to try to strong arm me into doing what they wanted me to do. Because then they could just, oh, well, if you don't do it the way we want you to do it, then you're not on the show.
Fair enough.
So it's not the way the competition is like, in hindsight, I was like, hey, if I'm really competing, I should be able to just do what I want to do. There shouldn't be any kind of leverage tactics being used, right? Like I either pass on to the next round or not. It shouldn't be contingent on me I should get to do whatever I want. Like I'm on America's Got Talent, I'm working there for free. I'm performing there for free for them. They're paying me an exposure. So the act should be entirely mine. And they wanted me to go back on the Champions program. They paid for me to build an illusion on the Champions. And it was the same deal where they were trying to like make me do it the way that they wanted me to do it, right? They wanted me to make Howie Mandel levitate the same way that I levitated with the cane, right? In the way, and I was like, no, I'm not going to let Howie just do my levitation and me just stand back and be like, ta-da, now Howie can do it too, right? I'm gonna I'll do a weird illusion. I still have it. It's the double that I did on some of my videos. It ended up with this weird illusion that I never would have built myself. They paid for it at least, but I never built that thing, and it was weird. It was like I should have done a different illusion with Howie Mandel, but because they wanted the same thing, because they're trying to guide it, they ended up with something messed up, and then they canceled me on the show. They like nixed me on the Champions. Anyways, sorry.
No worries. So now you're doing bigger stuff. I saw a video actually on my For You page on TikTok of you going to the subway and opening up a piece of like the ground, and there was money.
Whoa, hold on, you're really breaking up.
Really?
Oh, sorry, you were breaking up for me.
Oh, no worries. So you did a video on TikTok saying showing that you can find money under secret compartments in the subway. How did you come up with that idea?
Well, the first video that preceded that was where I found a hole. Did you see me crawling into the hole under the sidewalk?
Yeah.
You saw those? So like I had this mole man character that I wanted to introduce. You know, it's like, oh, I saw the hole and I was like, oh, I just knew it was viral. I knew the hole was viral. And I realized that if I take ordinary like problems with infrastructure, there are things that are slightly out of the ordinary, but they're not that out of the ordinary, right? It's like a loose tile on the subway platform, right? And everybody in New York knows of those tiles, right? They're the anti-slip tiles. And I just realized that if you take something that's slightly out of the ordinary, but like not too uncommon, that's in a common space that we all use, like a common thing that everybody can relate to, and then you add something into it that's totally absurd and wacky that catches people's attention. Like I was like, oh, I just was like, you know what can I find? I was like, oh, if I find something under the loose tile, that would get a lot of entertainment from people. And what's the most eye-catching thing that will fit under a tile? Like a buttload of money. And the first time I did it without the mole man mask. I did like a preclude video. You know, I just did it with the money that was in my pocket because I just discovered the tile. And then I went to the next day. I went to the bank. I was like, you know what? That didn't do it. I gotta take the mole man mask and really be the mole man character. I gotta find like way more money under the tile. So I drew $400 from the bank, and that was $400 real cash that I stuck in the tile. And I was a little bit sketched out because I was literally like leaving money under the tile, but I had my friend there helping me. And so I got on the subway. Initially, I wanted the video to look like I was actually getting off the subway car and then the money up, right? Make it look that much more authentic, that I was like just coming off of a subway train that had got. And you'll see like the previous video to the one that went really viral is like me getting off the train. But with the algorithms of TikTok, it favors shorter videos. So when I have a video that I know has viral potential and it doesn't pop off viral style, I'll shorten it. So that's what I did for the second video. I shortened it, and then that one got like 7 million views. You know, it did not include me coming off the train, but most important thing was just show a couple faces of people like seeing me do that and reacting. And then, you know, it was kind of sketchy because these people were like some homeless people, and they saw me with the money, with all that cash, and their eyes lit up and they wouldn't let go of me, and they were trying to get me to go with them. And I was just like, they're just like really like fiendish about the money. But they were trying to not make it be about the money, but I knew that they were acting this way because they saw me with the money. And then I took a bunch of friends back to the tile. I was like, let's do this again with the tile. We get back to the tile, and this is after the video had gone viral, and somebody had taken the tile, right? Because like when the hole went viral, when the tile went viral, I bet you the people went out and they're like, oh, I know where that subway stop is. Oh, I know where that that hole is, right? Like all these social media influencers reaching out to me about the hole, wanting me to give them access to it, right? So anyways, they took the tile away, but I got to have a second viral video with like 4 million views of like the conclusion of like, oh, because I had the first viral video, now the tile is gone. So that's the tile trilogy.
So I'm politely stalking you, and your show on AGT has actually 48 million views. Did you ever believe that it would get that many views so quickly?
You know, I didn't know that it was gonna go so big when it did. Like, I went on AGT because I saw it as a stepping stone. I was just like, I don't know. I was like, why not? Like, I'll give this a shot. Like, people kept mentioning it to me. They're like, you should go on AGT. You should go on AGT. And I was like, okay, like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure this will be good for my career. I didn't realize it was going to go mega viral. And the 48 million views, like, that's over time. Supposedly it got way more on Twitter. Like, it was in total across the world. It was like hundreds of millions of views because it trended globally on Twitter. Videos were on Facebook. That one YouTube video like only shows that one YouTube video. There's even copycat videos in other languages. I mean, I guess that was a really big moment. I think that America's Got Talent was really surprised about it too, because they had their person that manages their social media came up to me after it aired, and they're like, "You're trending globally on Twitter. Like, you're the second most tweeted thing today. Your name." And they were surprised because it was the season premiere. I think they were taken back by it because it was the season premiere and my name was being tweeted more than America's Got Talent's name.
I guess it's a huge honor.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a recurring segment I have on my show where I ask you quick fire questions. And you just got to answer them as quickly as you can.
Oh, I know I'm long-winded. Sorry.
It's fine. It's just something to keep my guests up on their toes.
Oh, okay.
All right. Favorite color?
Blue.
Dog or cat?
This.
Cat. If you could pick anywhere in the world to visit, where would you go?
Bhutan, and this is the question that I had as my number one date question, and my wife answered the same answer. Bhutan. When we first met, I asked her which country we should go to.
No, it's awesome.
Sorry.
That's fine. If you could pick a TV show to be on, what would it be?
I'm supposed to go on the Go Big show, but I would like to go on SNL, Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live would be pretty fun, but they want me to go on the Go Big show. Have you heard of it?
The only thing I've heard about Big Show is The Wrestler, so I don't think so.
It's a variety show hosted by Snoop Dogg.
Oh. No, never heard of it. I'm going to have to do some research on that.
Oh, okay.
Favorite movie genre?
I guess it would be like, I don't know what the genre is. I guess like, surrealist. I like all the Wes Anderson stuff, but my favorite director is Alejandro Jodorowsky.
Oh.
The Holy Mountain is my favorite movie.
Okay. Favorite actor or actress?
I would just say Alejandro Jodorowsky, but because he acts in his own films. He's a director. I don't know. I've never thought about who's my favorite actor or actress. I love Mariah Carey.
That's a good one. What is a normal Saturday morning for you?
Sleeping in. A normal Saturday morning is like I wake up. I take as long as I can to wake up. I just like Saturday's like a lot of times a relaxed day.
Okay.
Gigs. I usually do gigs on Friday and Saturday nights.
All right.
So I usually work late a lot of times. I'm usually out late, and I'm like working, so I'm like moving around a lot,
Yeah. If you could pick a celebrity to meet, who would it be?
Mariah Carey.
Carrie. All right,
I had
and
when I was in high school.
and last one, let's go. If you could create a TV show, what would the name be?
What would the name be? That's a hard question to answer. If I could create a TV show, what would the name be? Well, I made a pilot for a kids show, and the name of the pilot was "Science is the New Magic."
Hmm, that actually sounds pretty good. All
Oh,
right,
really?
yeah, science is the new magic. Yeah. All right, Danny, here is your revenge to get on me. You get to ask me some quick fire questions, and I have to answer them as quickly as I can. Be as difficult as you want.
Oh, okay. What's your sexual orientation?
Bisexual.
You're bisexual. Yes, me too. But
Yes.
that's a dirty. I married a woman though. We should talk about that though, because I never came out of the closet to my family. Okay, questions. Are you if you could pick a country to go to for a free trip, what country would you pick?
Mexico.
Oh my gosh, I hate I go there so much. I lived next to Mexico. What's your favorite question?
Where do I see myself in 5 years?
Okay. Then I ask you that because you want me to be hard on you. What's something you've what's like the greatest mistake that you've made that you've learned the most from?
Don't rush people because like when I want to do interviews, like this is pretty much all I do right now. Due to COVID, I've been unemployed, so I tend to rush people saying like, okay, I have to do this interview. You have to do it with me, please. And I've ruined so many interviews by just rushing them. So
Oh, and they probably just urge you.
yeah, pretty much.
They're like, oh, this guy seems pushy. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh well, God, you got me on here. I was like, oh, yeah, no. You learn that in entertainment industries that you can't seem too eager.
Mm.
Um, because it just gives people bad vibes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you got to see. But it. I guess. Um. Melissa. Let's just see if she. Uh. Why? Um. How do you feel about the Maori people, being that you do you have Maori blood, or how do you
Yes.
feel about having your bloodline be from colonialists?
To be honest, I honestly couldn't care. Um, like my culture's my culture, and if people don't like it, then they know where the door is.
In New Zealand, like, are do do the indigenous people like stick to their own, or are they pretty well integrated into other communities?
We're pretty much like we all like to be together. Like at my high school that I graduated from, I think 2 years ago, there was Marty, there was Pākehās, there was Samoans, there was Chinese, Japanese, Spanish. So it was a whole diverse group of people. And to be honest, we were all just big one happy dumbass family.
Oh, okay. And what's your favorite music artist or genre of music?
Favorite genre of music is country, and my favorite artist has to be either Rascal Flatts or Panic at the Disco.
Like American country?
American country.
But isn't Panic at the Disco like new rock?
Yeah, so it's a mixture between both, but most of the time I'd listen to country like Blake Shelton, Luke Bryan. Yeah.
I find that interesting because like if you you're in a city, I take it.
Yes.
I could tell because you talked about how diverse your high school was. Usually if you live in more rural areas, like it's less diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's less. And so in America, most all the people that listen to country live out in the country. They don't live in cities. Like you go to, like I went to a high school in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and like all the kids were like, blah, country's the worst. Everybody was like, we hate country.
Yeah.
And like here, I associate country music, like it's like very actually like politically one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Dixie Chicks, you know them?
Yep.
They condemned President George W. Bush when he was going to war with Iraq and Afghanistan. They like publicly condemned it, and because their country music and all their fans are Republicans and just follow whatever George Bush was doing, they had huge protests against the Dixie Chicks, like smashing all their CDs, lighting their CDs on fire and stuff.
Oh.
So like a lot of, I don't know if you'll hear it in country music, you'll hear a lot of like kind of American conservative, like evangelical ideals,
Mm-hmm.
like come into the country music.
Wow.
You know, I don't know if you ever hear that in the music.
No. All right, one more question.
Okay. Oh, for me?
Yeah. Yeah, you asked me one more question.
Man, one question. What do you do to give back to your community?
So most of the time I would be out busking, or I also do like card magic and stuff like that. Also, I tend to go out and just volunteer my time to basically whoever will have me. And all the proceeds that I make from like doing TikTok, I also got officially added onto Cameo. So all the stuff that I do, half of it goes towards COVID-19 research, and then the other half I'm gonna be donating to my little town. So
Oh, you do Cameo?
yeah, I got announced to be on Cameo yesterday.
Oh, I've never tried to do that. I've had people try it.
Yeah, I honestly think you should, because it's a great way to connect with your fans, and also you get paid for it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Cool.
All right. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I'm gonna make some babies.
Make some babies.
Yeah, that's my goal. Is I'm gonna knock up. Me and my wife really want some babies. I'm gonna knock her up. But I told her that she needs to graduate college first. She's getting a computer science degree, and it's taking a really long time.
Wow.
And I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna knock you up until you finish that degree. Because you want to get a good job so you can go on maternity leave.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to be able to afford a house in the New York area. The houses are really expensive here. And I'm not really wanting like very much out of life. I mean, I'm not really like hungry or thirsty for more.
Mm-hmm.
Like content with what I have. I would love to have a TV show that I'm in that I also get to be a creative director on.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be really awesome. But I kind of think that I'm a little bit too edgy for the mainstream television, and I think that my ideas are a little bit too revolutionary for the status quo to accept. I think that I should have played like I'm a stupid capitalist thing for just be like, I love money. That's what I love. I need more money. I'll do anything for more money. I don't care about environment or about social issues. That's who they really want.
Yeah.
To be actors and to be on TV. They want people who are good brands to tie to products that can sell brands more. If your brand is anti-consumerism, then they don't want to give you these opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez,
I've got to learn a lot.
Well, like the whole problem with, I mean, look, I invest in the stock market. I'm like, part of the problem is that everybody, I mean, me too. I'm like, I'm going to invest in these companies. I just took my money out of this company, KKR, because they're investing in these oil pipelines in Canada that's running through reservations. But like, my mentality has been like, well, other people, like, I want to get these returns in the stock market too. Other people are investing. It's like all the big business has this same mentality that like, well, if I don't go and exploit these resources and exploit these impoverished people, someone else is. So it's going to happen either way, whether or not I'm doing it or somebody else does it, right? Yeah. People say all these things to justify, actions that are harmful to the world, and it's like the corporate machine, the economic machine always wants to get you to spend more money, buy more stuff, right? Because the economy always does better. And then everybody's like, oh, our 401ks like are doing better now because the stock market's up, because we're spending more money, and then it's like people are freaking out that the cost of goods and things are going up. But one thing that I think that's a problem is that with a lot of things that you buy, it's cheaper to just buy another one than to fix the one that you have, right?
Yeah.
And there's all these externalities that are created by the manufacturer of that car or that stupid plastic thing from China. And, there's all these externalities that are pollution and the melting ice caps. And the people in Tuvalu, or that are losing their homes because they live in an atoll in the Pacific Ocean. Those companies are making extra profit. Those shareholders are making this profit. They're making money, huge returns from just the fact that they started off with money. They could just sit on their butts to make this money, right? So that profit, basically what it's equaling people losing their homes, people losing their crops because of climate change, right? And these are externalities that it's basically like they're transferring the wealth from these poor farmers that own land to farm on, or these island people, that are fishermen, on atolls. They're transferring their wealth of their land and their small amount of resources. They're losing that in place of these people making excessive profits. And really, I don't have a problem with the cost of goods going up. I think all of these goods should be taxed even more, and all that money goes into a fund that pays to clean up from the damage of climate change. That goes to solve these problems that the products are creating. So that's why I'm like anti-consumerism. It's like, you don't need to buy a bunch of bull crap. You don't need to buy all this stuff. Like, it's just feeding this machine. And I could go on and on about how it's intertwined with politics and all this stuff. It's a freaking machine. The entity, it's not, it doesn't even function like a human with moral values, right? Because it's kind of like this collective chaos of a mob, of like a selfish, greedy mob, where everybody's saying, where it's like there's no community vibe. It's not even a community. It's like an anti-community, right? Where everybody's like a number on a screen, where you're competing with a bunch of other traders online, right? And you're like, oh, well, if I don't make this profit, some other stranger in Japan is going to make the money, And so like basically the justification I went to business school, and everybody learns in business school, like the number one principle that they teach, that it's just like the number one rule in business school is selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
You provide enough utility to make as much profit as possible, but employees will always shirk as much as they can. They'll always slack off as much as they can to still get the same paycheck. And employers will always try to pay employees as little as they possibly can and still get the same amount of work out of them. Business school teaches you that selfishness is the constant.
Mm-hmm.
And there's little formulas in business economics. I have business econ degree. There's rarely a formula for generosity or for giving or for charity. But basically, it's just like everybody's justification for being greedy is that, oh, well, it's just a bunch of strangers that I'm competing with that are also trying to be greedy. So I have to be greedy so I can get mine, because then I'm going to take this resource that I got and now I'm going to be selfless with it and give my family. So that way I get the moral gratification that I went to sleep feeling like I was selfless and I was generous today because I just made a bunch of money and I gave a little bit of away to my family. I provided my children with a nice little upbringing. It's tribalism, and our tribalism is exploited. That whole thing of like, I'm going to get as much as I can so that I can give it to my family, my little core, right? That's tribalism. And tribalism is used by the media, by politicians to divide us and to keep the corporate machine going and well fed. Anyways, that's my rants right there.
No worries, man. So when it came to doing all of your street performances that you do, how do you come up with your ideas?
I don't know. Like a lot of it's just building upon other things. Like I could give you specific examples, like, the double levitation I was already doing. Well, actually, that was kind of like because America's Got Talent wanted me to make Howie Mandel levitate. It was like just the same way with the cane. I was like, no, if Howie Mandel is going to levitate with the cane, I'm going to levitate holding onto his back.
Mm-hmm.
I got to make it bigger and better. So like, I don't know. They always come to me at different points of inspiration, and I always make sure to write down ideas. I don't know. Where does inspiration come from? Do you ever smoke marijuana?
Sometimes.
Sometimes I find I think that marijuana is like not the best thing for you. Actually, it makes you have the one thing that it's good. Why musicians and artists like marijuana is because sometimes, depending on the strain and all that, when you smoke weed, it just makes your brain, it takes that part of your brain that's like the creative sponge, and it just like squeezes all the creative juices all out all at once. Right? So you'll just get all these weird, wacky ideas, and some of them will be good. Problem is you have to write them down or else you'll forget it because, you forget everything on the weed. There's a lot of like mental side effects that aren't that good. And the problem smoking it too much is you end up with somebody who's just an idea person who has tons and tons of ideas, but not the motivation to come out. But that's not the only way I get motivation. Trust me. Inspiration. Like, I don't want to advocate for that. Like the cane levitation, the fakir levitation with the cane that I went on America's Got Talent and did. Another example is I saw that on the internet. And when I went on America's Got Talent, the same video that showed me how to do it on the internet, they changed the name to be Speacial Head Revealed, how that guy did the levitation trick on America's Got Talent. And I was honored that the video that I watched that showed me how changed the title of its name to have my name in it for the SEO, search engine optimization, to get the views. And the reason why I went really viral with that act and why it was a big deal and why it got noticed in all the magic communities, I was like famous in all these magic communities because I took this very ancient, they gauge that illusion is around 1,000 years old. That's been around very long, maybe 800 to 1,000 years. been around for a very long time, but, and this is kind of what happens when you are stifled by adversity that you need to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I got into every single thing in your life, like I found this thing that's like real magic in life, right? And it's kind of like an intuitiveness to realize when special doors are opening that will lead you to another pathway of more magic in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to know how to go with the flow about things, and to notice when when there's too much resistance in an area that you're going towards.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was trying to pursue music, right? That was my dream, was to be a music producer. I traveled all around Africa, recorded traditional African music in Africa. I escaped from a civil war in Africa. And it was really competitive to be an original music producer.
Mm-hmm.
My friend got involved in these burlesque shows, variety shows as the sound guy, working soundboard. And then little by little, I started doing acts, performing like in a gorilla suit with the burlesque dancers. I bought this robe in Morocco, right, that I ended up using to levitate, but I didn't realize why I was buying this robe. It was like this very special, ornate robe. And I ended up wearing, like, everything in your life is like a puzzle that fits together. And you just have to, if you live in a good, pure heart, I feel like, and you realize how to find, you realize that intuition, and you realize how to also be good with people skills and how to judge people, like judge other people's intentions well. 'Cause that's one thing that will trip you up a lot in life, is you'll end up intertwining your life with people that do not serve you. They're vampires. They're there to suck energy from you. They're there to like waste your time. They're people that talk themselves up to be bigger than what they are. I met a lot of those people in Los Angeles. It's part of the reason why I love New York, because there's fewer of them in New York City. But like the levitation, I was involved in this. My friend pulled me into just helping him with this variety arts, like this art group. We were throwing themed art parties. I wanted to give back, and it all came from me wanting to give back in acts of selflessness, right? Do acts of selflessness and radiate positive energy and pure heart energy. You will attract those good people and that magic energy, right? This is something that I like. It reminds me of this. Like I started producing a sculpture festival because I wanted to give back to these metal workers and these sculptors that helped us with a show that we did. And I created a curated art show at galleries. It turned into an annual festival because they loved it so much. And it was done in conjunction with the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. And we became statues to promote for the sculpture festival, because we got bookings to do other gigs, right? And they were like, do whatever, like, let's be human statues for this other festival to promote for the sculpture festival. And it was the first human statue in town. And then we were like, oh, I was looking on the internet what other human statues were doing in Europe, and I saw the levitating guy in Europe. It had not gotten on in the United States, right? But I saw street performers in Europe doing it. And I was like, you know what? I'm friends with all these metal workers now. If I have one of my friends build that for me, right? I can make I'll impress people even more. I could be like the host of the Tucson Sculpture Festival as a levitating statue guy. I was like, I could be a human statue with the levitating man illusion, and not even and make more money, and so we built it. And I wasn't even trying to be a musician. I wasn't even trying to be a magician. I was trying to be a musician. And I had a landscaping business. I sold the business. I was like, I'm going to move out to LA, pursue my dreams of being a musician, and I'll street perform as a levitating human statue in Santa Monica. And because here's the thing, right? Was like I didn't realize it was gonna blow up so big, right? The levitation caused me to change my career path to be a magician. That levitation was my first magic that I ever. You're on the naughty list.
Yeah.
I magic before that, and so I started off with that really big trick. Now here's the thing: is I added innovations. The reason why I went so mega viral is I added innovations that allowed me to walk out on stage with it, to come up, come down, sit on the ground. Before that, all the other people that I've seen doing that, they have some person pull a curtain around them, and then they get in position, and then they're perpetually stuck up there levitating, right? Until somebody comes and brings a curtain around them, and then they come down, right? So because I was stifled by not having a helper person, right? And I realized that maybe if I was just a human statue that only levitated when people gave me a tip, right? As a reward, I will levitate when you tip me as the reward. Then I would get more tips that way, and it worked. So because I didn't have a helper, right? And because I was just innovating, I innovated the illusion to be the first person to be able to walk out on stage and do it, come up, come down, and make it look like flawless. Do you know what I'm saying? With full motion. Is a lot of your fans magicians? I'm curious.
I have interviewed a few magicians, so probably.
Okay. And you street perform, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, to answer your inspiration question, I know it's a long answer. You know, you gotta follow the magic. And a lot of times when you come up with new ideas, really what you're doing is you're just taking two ideas and you're combining them. Like when I did my act on America's Got Talent, I took the singing bowl, I took the throat singing from tuba, right? The like, you know, and then I took the Indian fakir levitation. I was wearing a robe from Morocco, you know. I was taking a bunch of stuff and combining it.
So I was just on your live stream on TikTok, and you mentioned that you did a collab with the Magic Crasher. How did that happen?
Oh, do you know the Magic Crasher?
I've seen him a lot on my For You page, so I'm hoping for an interview, maybe.
Oh yeah, you should. Yeah, have you asked him?
I might have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember, I might be like, hey, I did a fun interview with this guy who's really nice. But how did that come about? I think we met on the internet somehow. He was in Orange County. How did we meet? I think that we might have had a mutual friend who was like, hey, check out this guy. You guys should meet each other. And I saw his page. He had quite a bit more followers on on the YouTube. Back in that day, it was a YouTube collaboration. And you know, I was like, yeah, I'm down to do a collaboration with a bigger channel. And no, I don't know. I think it was when it was our MCN. We actually made it. Maybe we had the same MCN. I don't even know. Oh no, I think we had a mutual friend. And yeah, we did a couple things. The collab that we did wasn't like, the content wasn't that great of content. I kind of felt like there was an expectation. I also brought my other friend. Do you know who Seth Grable is?
Name sounds familiar.
He was on America's Got Talent the year before me. He did like an appearing DeLorean where there were two kids that were dressed up like I think it was Sharon Osbourne and Howie Mandel or something, or he had the two kids come out of the DeLorean. Anyways, he was a friend from Las Vegas. We had the same manager for a second or something in Las Vegas. and I just brought him along, even though he had a way smaller follow, really small following on YouTube. I was bald, and Magic Crash was bald. I was like, oh, we could be the 3 bald magicians. But you know what? They were all kind of like disappointed in me because I screwed up the video because I let my hair grow out because I have like a head of hair.
Yeah.
Right. And the girls really like it more when I have a head of hair. They want to save it bald. And I let it grow out, because it's a pain in the butt to shave your head, to do this look. And they were like, oh man, I thought we were gonna be the 3 bald magicians. And then also I felt like the Magic Crasher, I'm an idea person. I come up with a lot of ideas. I have a lot of inspiration. And I felt like because the Magic Crasher was the bigger channel, he was kind of putting more of the burden on us to come up with ideas. Right? I feel like that's the main reason why bigger channels will collaborate with smaller channels. It's because they need to keep up their content coming out with, and they run out of ideas because they're on more pressure because they have a bigger following. They have more pressure to just keep the content coming. They want to keep their, and so that's why they're like down to do the class. We're like, oh, a bigger channel. Honestly, for TikTok, it doesn't even matter. I've collaborated with, channels with millions of followers. It doesn't matter. I don't get hardly. Really, what gets me the followers is having the go viral on my own page. And right now, TikTok's the only place where videos will really go viral. Well, but yeah, we did a holiday. Seth Rabel was a pickpocket. He pickpocket people's smartphones, and then I would come as Santa Claus and re-gift it to them. It was kind of, but also they ragged on me because my Santa character, I didn't have a fat suit. I was like a skinny Santa. I wasn't like that great looking of a Santa. I don't know. It wasn't. And then the weather got bad, and like a storm was coming in. So yeah, it was like. It wasn't
So, who is your favorite magician?
Who is my favorite magician? Probably me, because I never aspired to be a magician. That's the thing. It was like I never looked up to magicians. When I went on America's Got Talent, went really viral. Everybody's like, "Yo, you're like famous now as a magician. You should hear from music to magic because you keep trying to push your music to people." My music's great, by the way. I traveled through Africa, recorded traditional African music, and remixed it to electronic music. But like, I don't know. They're like changing career, and I think I like David Blaine because a lot of the stuff he does, some of the stuff he does is actually real. Like he's actually doing real stunts. And also, I would say. A magician here's a magician that everybody should check out. Here's a magician that people know less about. There's a magician from Taiwan. His name is Po Han. Have you heard of Po Han?
No.
I think it's spelled Pohan. Really, he does a really amazing magic act. I mean, oh shoot. Did I lose you?
No, we're good.
Okay, so he's not like as big of a magician as I saw Penn and Teller live too, by the way. He's not as big of a magician as like David Play or Copperfield or anybody like that. I've seen some good ones at the Magic Castle too. Also, I mean Houdini, of course, is like the great and classic guy. And there was also the hair. There's like a what is it? The guy that did the floating light bulb, who made the elephant appear. Harvey, what is it? Harry. I'm bad with names.
Yeah,
See,
I know who you're talking about.
He I think he's dead. He's back in the 60s.
Yeah. I think so.
So Paul Han he's like a younger guy. He's like not so established, but he does this amazing floating book. He does a a book suspension. He suspends the book in midair, starts reading it and making the pages turn with a flick of the finger. Right? He does not touch the book. He makes it float there, a suspension, and then he makes the pages flip through the book twice. He flips 2 pages in the book without touching the book. And then he's making little cards like fold up, like he's like breaking the laws of physics. And it's a silent piece. He doesn't speak the greatest English. I took him around Chinatown in LA. He came to LA and I hung out with him, and I gave him a fortune cookie for his first time. He's never had a fortune cookie because they're American creation.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have fortune cookies.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I honestly think, because of course, like I dabble in the magic, I think the only real magic trick that I can do is the human blockhead.
With the nail?
Yeah, with the nail, and you can stick it up your nose and all that other stuff. But
you do magic?
Yeah. Oh, I dabble.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. The problem with magic is once you find out how a lot of it works, you're not as impressed with it. But the human blockhead thing, I wouldn't. Yeah, I know that there's like a little bit of a trick to it, but you're actually doing that. Like
doing it.
That stuff. Human pin cushion, stapling things to your body, like all that stuff gives me the willies. And like I'm like, I mean, look, I know that there's little tricks to everything. I know that walking on glass, like I've done that before. There's a trick to it, but they're really walking on glass.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, I tell people ask about my levitation. Is it real or is it a trick? I'm like, of course it's real. And everything that's real, there's a trick to everything, including tying shoes. There's a trick to it. What are you talking about? I'm not trying to trick you. Just the magic is in your head, right?
Yeah.
They're like, is magic real? I'm like, the magic is real because the magic is in your mind. It's in the experience that was created. You're experiencing right now. You're just like chemical synapses like firing off of electrons in your brain that creates this like experience that you're actually seeing things, that you're like existing here. You know, it's like the magic happened for you in your mind. Totally real.
Totally real.
Right. I have sorry, I'm like completely sober too, by the way.
It's no worries. All right, Danny, are you ready to play a game?
Okay.
All right. Do you want to do music, acting, or voice impressions?
Is this trivia?
Depends on. No.
Music, acting, or voice impersonations?
Can
we do music? Would be like singing stuff?
Yes.
Let's do acting.
Acting? Okay. So this is called emotions. I give an emotion like happy, sad, angry, and a typical scenario. And basically, you've got to act out that scenario using that emotion as much as you can.
Okay.
Okay. So, for example, you go to the supermarket and you want the last packet of Skittles, but someone takes them. Your emotion is happy. Just something like that.
Wait. Wouldn't I be sad if they took the last Skittle?
It's a bit of a mix.
Hold on. I need to drink water. I'm actually finally starting to feel this Omicron. I'm on the Omicron, man. It's feeling kind of funny. Oh wait, which do you prefer, cats or dogs?
I'm a dog person. I have 3 dogs at home.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, I've got 3 dogs and a blue tongue lizard.
Oh, crazy.
Okay, so we're gonna go backwards and forwards. So you pick one for me, and I'll pick one for you. So let's go. Your first one is you go to the movie theater. You order some popcorn, but it's too salty. Your emotion is angry.
Okay, so I have the popcorn here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like this. Try it for the first time. I love eating popcorn at the movies. God fucking damn it. They put too much salt on this popcorn. Man, sorry. I'm gonna complain about this shit, okay? I'm gonna go complain.
Awesome.
Okay, so you go to the zoo and the zookeepers are getting really excited, right? And you go to see what the zookeepers are getting excited about, and they're going over to the gorilla pen.
Mm-hmm.
Gorillas are like having really wild sex, right? And
Yep.
and you're kind of like, and you have this moment where you have this like where you have this sexual realization where you're kind of like getting some ideas from the gorillas. You're like trying to not be turned on by it. You like feel kind of mixed, uncomfortable, because you're like kind of like, wow, like I should like if I do that in the bedroom. And so you're kind of like inspired. It's like a combination of being inspired,
Mm-hmm.
but also like you're like slightly turned on, but then really embarrassed yourself that you're slightly turned on about the gorillas.
Okay.
Sorry.
Whew.
I too much. You said any.
It's fine. It's fine. All right.
When you said you lie, I figured you're open-minded.
Yeah. All right. Like, what are you guys so excited about? Oh, it goes to the gorilla. Oh, what are the gorillas? Oh, that's new. Oh, wait, what is he doing? Dude, I wonder if I use that on someone. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I see why you guys are excited now. Oh, you're a little bit too excited. Okay, never mind. Here we go.
Wait, can I? All right, can I ask you a question about the sexual orientation? As a bi guy,
Mm-hmm.
find yourself if you are gonna hook up with a guy, do you
Mm-hmm.
find yourself more of a bottom?
I'm a bit of both.
Okay. Most bi guys that I meet are way more of a bottom than a top
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to guys. Because I'm the same way. I'm like, why would I top a guy when I could top a woman? You know.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
No worries. Let's go. Okay. You've just been asked to go on another like variety TV show like America's Got Talent. You're on the phone with the producer and they tell you that you can't do your levitation act. Your emotion is confused. So you're confused why they don't want you to do your levitation act.
Okay. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this happened to me actually. They wouldn't let me do my Tesla coil act on America's Got Talent, and they're trying to talk me and build a disappearing illusion for me, which they made fail. They sabotaged this disappearing illusion that they built for me on the Radio City Music Hall show.
Mm-hmm.
When like they said, "Oh, you did so bad. That was planned by the show." So I shipped a Tesla coil out. I do a Tesla coil levitation, right? And they wouldn't let me do the Tesla coil on stage. It was like, they're like, oh, like we'll do an atomic strobe light. I was like, what are you talking about? You think that because you put atomic in front of the name strobe, that all of a sudden it makes it more than just a strobe light? You're gonna flash some lights and it's gonna be equally as good as a Tesla coil? Like I don't understand. You did a Tesla coil act. You did a testicle act 2 seasons before, like, and it was fine. You did it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, Radio City Music Hall won't allow it. I'm like, look, like, fine. Either here's what I could do. Either you let me do the testicle levitation, or I'll just read a poem. And I know that you guys want to X me off the show, but then you'll feel bad about Xing me off the show because you'll be just Xing me because you're Xing poetry in general. You'll be hating on an entire genre of art. You'll be hating, you'll force the show into hate on an entire genre of art, and you don't like that, do you? I know.
Okay. All right. What's one for me?
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead, dude.
Okay, so you you go to the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
and you see somebody, they're filming like a TikTok video,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing something really funny that you also think maybe is slightly illegal. What they're doing is they have their own fake cheese stickers, right? They're little cheese stickers, and what it says, and they're sticking them on the cheese over the regular stickers, the like labels, the sale and bags, everything. It says, the stickers say human cheese from live cultures from human breast milk. And they're doing, and you want to ask the person if you could be in their TikTok video. You're like, really? What? Okay. Sorry, my roommate just asked me to be. Shoot. Okay, so you want to be in their TikTok video, so you're like asking them. You're like really excited about their TikTok, and you like want to be in it, and so you're asking them to be.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. I got my apples. I got my drinks. Hey guys, I think what you're doing is really funny. Do you mind if I be a part of it? Yeah, I've got like 5,000 followers on TikTok. Okay, sweet. So what's the gimmick? Oh, breast milk cheese. Sounds fun. Okay, sure. Make sure you tag me when it's done. There we go. I would honestly go like, what the fuck are you doing? Why? But it's comedy, can't ignore it. Why not?
It's all about the reactions,
Yeah.
Like something like that, they would have to wait and check somebody like noticing the cheese, and then show like an old lady being like, "What? Is this real?"
Yeah.
But I never. That was an idea for a prank I had, but I would never do it because it would be very illegal. Because, and you could even get the store in trouble. They would be really upset about that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mess with the nutrition labels on food like that.
No. It sounds like some Impractical Jokers shit.
But like I think it's like a federal crime or something to mess with food labels.
Oh wow. Okay. So this is the game part 2. I'm basically just going to say some celebrities, and you've just got to describe them in one word. Ready?
Can you do politicians to American politicians as well?
Yeah, sure. All right. Donald Trump.
Bigot.
Okay. Let's go Howie Mandel.
Bald.
Bold. Nice. Let's go with Simon Cowell.
Exploitative. Exploiter.
There we go. Ronald Reagan.
Greedy.
Mariah Carey.
High pitch. Like You know what I mean. That's too. It's a compound word.
No worries. Barack Obama.
History.
Okay. And Howard Stern.
Crass.
All right. Last one. Sofia Vergara.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Is
Heidi
she the
Klum.
performance artist?
She's a Latino that's the new judge on America's Got Talent. She was in Modern Family.
Oh gosh, why did they make her a judge? They ran out of people.
They ran out of people.
No, the judges want to quit. They get tired of watching them mistreat the contestants. Sharon Osbourne was really pissed at what they were doing to the contestants on that show.
I'd imagine. All right. You get to just say any celebrities, and I'm just going to describe them in one word.
Okay. Queen Elizabeth.
Posh.
Mr. Bean.
Todos.
Lord.
New Zealand.
Jeff Gorwin.
Don't know who that is.
The crocodile hunter, or Jeff Irwin, whatever.
Oh, Steve Irwin. Legend.
Steve Irwin. What shit?
Yeah, legend.
What'd you say?
Legend.
Legend. Oh, okay. Donald Trump.
Well, even though I'm not Donald J. Trump, I can surely sound like it. How's it going? Ginger.
Ginger.
Or orange. Cheetos. There we go. Cheetos.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and Simon Cowell.
Oh. Simon Cowell. Okay, this is more than one word.
Oh,
David?
wait. I just asked you Trump.
Yeah, you said
We should
Trump.
go Putin.
Oh no, not Vladimir Putin. Vodka.
Here, let's just do all the dictators since we started with Trump.
Okay.
Let's do the people Trump wishes he was. Boris Johnson.
Queen 2.0.
And then Kim Jong Il.
Kim Jong Un. I would probably just say separation.
Separate. Yeah, okay. You're such a nice guy. You don't want to say negative words about these people. Who's the leader of China? Ming or
I don't know.
It's we don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Alex Jones?
I thought you said Indiana Jones. I don't know who Alex Jones is.
Good, you shouldn't. He's awful. I'm
All right,
doing awful people. What about some better people? How about Sacha Baron Cohen?
Sasha. Well, my friends would call her thick, so I think that's what I would call her.
Oh no, it's the guy. It's the guy who does Borat and Bruno.
Oh, him. I just heard the word Sasha and thought it was girl. Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. Okay. It's actually 2 words. What about do you know what Eric Andre is?
Nope.
What about Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty.
Rick. Just Rick from Rick and Morty.
Just Rick? Brutal.
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 And what about Morty?
pussy.
Okay, and then
One more.
what about I'm trying to think of somebody who's just awful besides Trump. Who's horrible? Do you know who the Island Boys are?
Yes.
Okay, the Island Boy, whichever one you want it to be, because they both kind of seem like the same person.
Douchebags.
Man, they're too young and eager to be douchebags. They're just like confused. I swear to God, it's so sad to see what's happening with them because like they were just annoying enough to go super mega viral, right, and be like a meme. They were big, and like they got all these opportunities from it, but everybody knew that they weren't that talented. Like they did a club in Florida, and they got booed, and everybody knew that they weren't that talented, that they just had this look and they went really viral, that like their talent level was like really low compared to their fame level. And so people just they had them on their shows and all this, and they didn't take them seriously. So people just kind of like started snubbing them. And then these kids, they're young and they have huge egos.
Yeah.
And they try to act all hard and tough and shit. And they're dealing with older people than them. They're dealing with people who are older than them. They're like what, like 19 or some shit. And they're dealing with people that are schooling them. And so now it seems like the viral feeding frenzy is just kind of like laughing at them. Like they're the new Britney Spears, right? Leave the Island Boys alone, man. I should do that as a viral video. Man, they're just trying to have lots of tattoos and spiky blonde hair and pretend like they're darker skinned than they are.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Do you remember that viral video where the blonde dude was saying, "Leave Britney alone"?
Yep.
Okay. This is like the pop culture now. We are making the pop culture. It's no longer being controlled by the media, the big networks.
Exactly. So, while you were asking me some of the political people, I did a Donald Trump impersonation. What do you think of it?
It was actually decent.
Decent? Okay.
Yeah.
So what if I was to do like Barack Obama or something like that?
Hey, just don't do blackface. I mean, you'll be fine as long as you don't paint your face.
100% no. 100% no. Like, if I was to ask you, what do you prefer, Family Guy or Simpsons?
You know, I grew up with the Simpsons a little bit more. Like the Simpsons, like Family Guy started coming on, I think, when I was like a teenager. So I have more fond memories with the Simpsons, honestly. I feel like the new Family Guy episodes are funnier than the new Simpsons episodes. I feel like right now, Family Guy is funnier than the Simpsons. But you gotta hand it to the Simpsons, because the Simpsons really like pioneered the whole like adult humor in cartoons thing. Like the Simpsons was kind of like the big first one that all of these other cartoons, like I feel like Family Guy just kind of tried to copy the formula that the Simpsons was, and they just were like, let's just make this more dirty and more crass.
So overall, Simpsons?
Yeah, I would say, I mean that's saying that like Simpsons isn't so funny anymore. Like it's not as funny as Family Guy is now. Like I actually like Family Guy has some funnier jokes in it than the Simpsons all around. Simpsons a little bit, but mind you, Simpsons has been around for a lot longer, and everything takes its course. Everything has its peak of the best writers, and then
yeah. So the reason I asked you that is because throughout my years of doing like stand-up comedy, I've learned the voice impressions of some of the characters. So that's why I was asking you whether Family Guy or Simpsons. So I'm gonna do a voice impression, and I want you to tell me who it is.
On any of those shows.
Yeah. So which one, Family Guy or Simpsons?
Okay.
Yeah. Which one?
Oh, actually, I'm friends with somebody in New York who Instagram is the real Peter Griffin, and this guy.
Yes.
What?
I know that dude.
Yeah. He dresses up like the Family Guy. He's really fat and he talks like him. So I've he's a friend of mine.
Wow.
I'm friends with a bunch of like famous people actually, but Stormy Daniels crashed my wedding.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. So which one? Family Guy or Simpsons?
I guess. Oh, it's hard. Can you do both?
I can do both.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go. Oh, yes, hello, Smithers.
Well, obviously, that's Mr. Burns.
Yes.
When it's really obvious when you say the name of the other person that they interact with the most.
Yeah.
Like if you say Peter, like it's like, oh, well, that's
Yeah. Well, one of the other lines he does is oh yes, release the hounds. So that could be one. All right, let's go with oh yes, hello, Brian.
that's Stewie.
Oh yes.
But again, you said the name of the character he interacts with the most.
I want cool whip.
Do another one, but don't
Okay.
say the name of another character.
Okay then. Donuts. It's everything they can't do.
That's Homer.
Yes. Stop. All right.
But also you give a big hint in every one that you do.
I know. It's basically just all like the lines that people remember. So trying to think of one. All I can think about for this one character is just going like, homie.
That's Marge.
It is Marge. But like even with
Wait,
Apu.
do this line. You know what my favorite Simpsons line is?
What?
Homer turns to Mo and he says, Mo, I have a problem. Or he's like, Mo, my friend has this problem.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Joey Joe Shabadoo. And then Mo says, Homer, that's the worst name I've ever heard. And then this guy runs out the door of the bar crying. And Barney shouts, no, Joey Joe. Do you remember that one? Do you remember that joke?
The only joke that got me was when Milhouse and Bart went to the Quickie Mart and they got that slushy that was just full of just the syrup.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and that's how I was able to do Apu, which is basically just an ordinary Indian accent. So yeah. Okay, Danny, I'm going to give you the floor. Promote yourself. YouTube, Instagram, everything. Let the people know what's going on.
Yeah, if you just Google my name, you'll see I don't know, you'll probably see my America's Got Talent. You'll see my YouTube is search Special Head on YouTube. You'll see the bald guy. The bald guy is on a lot of my media just because that was my biggest moment. Mm-hmm. Instagram is at Special Head. TikTok is at special_head. YouTube, just search Special Head, or it's youtube.com/specialhead100. I have a website. It's www.specialhead.com.
Awesome. So Danny, who would you like to see next on Mike Time with Marty?
I would like to see you with the Magic Crasher.
Okay. Let's hope we can make that happen.
Okay. I thank you. It was wonderful.
All right. Well, Danny, what are you doing for the rest of the night? All day, whatever the time is.
I'm probably gonna. I actually through this like talking to you, I just started to feel some of the effects of this Omicron.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Also, I'm going to send you first of all the link to this video, but also my link. So if you're wanting to join Cameo, then yeah, I can give you a code and you can be on Cameo if you wanted to.
Yeah, I
Yeah?
want to do camp.
All right, sweet. So after this, once it's uploaded, I will send you the link and we'll be Cameo buddies.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. All right. Well, Danny, thank you so much for taking your time. Who knows? Maybe we can do this again sometime.
Okay, thank you.
See you, man.
Bye.